No, it's not a clickbait title. I still have my Fujifilm cameras, but I'm switching slowly to Sony, and here is why. Hello everyone, I hope you are all good. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why I'm switching from Fujifilm to Sony. And by the way, I'm recording now this video on the Sony a6700. But first, let me tell you why I picked this a6700 that has been in the market for about a year now instead of the new released camera from Sony, the ZV-E10 Mark II. And for me, these reasons are very legit. The first thing is that this a6700 can shoot in 4K 120 frames per second. We don't have that at all on the ZV-E10 Mark II. This one is weather sealed. The ZV-E10 Mark II is not. On this one, we have IBIS, ideal for vlogs and so on. We don't have IBIS on the ZV-E10 Mark II. This one has the EVF. We don't have EVF on the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. And this one is somehow cheap, around 300 to 400 euros different or much more expensive than the ZV-E10 Mark II, but we have much more features in this tiny little body. But why I'm switching from Fujifilm that I really love, and most of my videos on my YouTube channel are made with Fujifilm cameras, to Sony, to this a6700, and the reason is quite easy, and of course you might know it by now that the Fuji has released lots of updates for their cameras, whether XS20, XH2S or even the other cameras that I don't own, and we can literally see that we have a problem in autofocus. It was not that big deal in the first generation of the firmwares, but with these new firmware updates, this autofocus has been very bad. It's like a crap now. Of course, we can work around these issues with the autofocus on the Fujifilm XS20 or even the XH2S, but it has become a hassle for me. It has become a struggle for me. Every time I'm using the camera, I have to think many times about the shots that I'm taking in order to have some clean and neat shots. And that's not how I would like to do in my workflow. So the reason number one why I'm switching from Fujifilm to Sony is obviously the autofocus. You can see now on the screen the autofocus of the Fuji XS20 as well as the autofocus of the a6700. I picked the best option or the best settings for the autofocus for the Fuji, and you can see clearly that the autofocus of the Sony is way better in my opinion. But let me tell you that this autofocus is not of a big deal if I'm shooting in my home studio inside, because I'm not moving a lot. While if I'm vlogging, if I'm doing some shots for my clients, if I'm doing some B-rolls, this autofocus is very important in order to be able to track my subject perfectly, whether the eye like here on this video here, or even on my product videography that I do for my clients. The reason number two is that my Fuji XS20 that I use for vlogs is not weather sealed compared to this Sony here, and this is important for me because I remember last year I was vlogging outside and we didn't have any sign of rain before I started my vlog, and suddenly it started to rain and I couldn't finish my video by the time I started doing it, so I had to wait a few hours to go back outside to continue my video. While with this one, it can resist some raindrops, and that's why I chose this one instead of the Fuji X-S20. I could have gone to make that vlog with the Fuji X-H2S because it is weather sealed while the X-S20 is not, but I prefer to keep my Fuji X-H2S for some indoor shots, for some 4K 120 shots, and not use it in everything I'm doing. The reason number 3 is that on the Sony we have the multi-interface Hochu, which is amazing, especially for vlogs. Now I have the WEC-S microphone from Godox without any cable connecting the receiver unit to the camera, and that's something very important in my opinion, because now I can see easily the screen on the side of the camera. I can monitor what the camera is recording without having the cable that is blocking my view on the monitor. And the reason number 5, which is the last one on my list today, is that now I can test some E-mount lenses with these Sony cameras. Before I couldn't do that because I had only X-mount Fujifilm cameras and Z-mount Nikon cameras. Now I have E-mount as well, so I can test new glasses. This is, for example, the VILTROX 56mm 1.7 aperture. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to click like. That helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's a massive help. If you are interested in any product that I've talked about previously on my channel, please refer to my affiliate links down below. If you buy via my affiliate links, you get some discounts sometimes, and the most important thing is that you don't pay extra money, but you help my channel a lot. And thank you for watching. Ciao for now.